I am doing a weapons tier list for Ninja.io. My first weapon is the shotgun. I'm going to give shotgun the B tier because it doesn't have much range, but it does have decent one-shot potential. And can be used to spray down enemies if they get too far away. Next weapon, I'm going to put the rifle in probably B tier as well. It's pretty accurate, but its low fire rate makes it ineffective at like closer range, I would say. Next weapon is the SMG. Personally, I love the SMG. Personally, I love the SMG. It's my favorite weapon. I'm going to put in A tier because there are weapons that outclass it, but it's a pretty solid pick overall. Next up is the M79. This weapon is kind of tricky to grade because on one hand it's a single shot weapon and is kind of limited in range, but on the other hand it gives you lots of mobility and has great one shot potential and splash. So it would be either an A or C, so I would just medium out at B. Personally, I put it at A, but in real practicality, it would be A tier, B tier. Okay, the Barrett. Now I'm going to be getting some hate for this, but personally, I think the Barrett is extremely unfun to play and play against. It just kind of sucks the fun out of every interaction. But it is pretty busted. It's just one-shot potential is ludicrous. Not such a stupid weapon. But next, I'm going to be rating the shock rifle. C tier. Don't ask why I don't play this weapon. It's also kind of meh. Its projectile speed is extremely slow, but it does have one-hit potential. And splash damage. Pulse gun. I really, really like this gun. But it's inconsistent damage. I've hit someone 3 times with full burst and it just doesn't kill. So I'm gonna... It pains me, but it has to be a D tier. It's just not usable currently. It really needs a fix to its messed up whatchamacallit damage. Also, if you headshot with it, like 2 shots, it's disgusting. But the flamer, C tier. It's kind of annoying if someone's running at you, but realistically, you can deal with it by just shooting them. It doesn't kill really quickly unless you've like piled up a bunch of projectiles, but then you're just moving in a straight line, so pretty easy to deal with. Laser gun, it's pretty much just a better SMG, just slightly put it above that. It like does more damage, it has a larger clip, it shoots at the same speed, and also has a little bit of spread, so the accuracy is not as punishing. Let's see. Link gun. I like this gun. It's got limited range, but it does have a... it's a hit scan, so the skill cap's pretty high, but it doesn't do a lot of damage. So I'm going to put either B or C. Let's just put it in B tier, because it does have a lot of potential. AK-47, basically the rifle, except... Well, it's basically just the rifle. I'm going to put it in B tier. Minigun, I don't play this. Nobody plays this weapon. C tier. The rev up time is just horrendous. X75. This weapon's kind of good, but it's also just C tier. It's got good damage and it can knock enemies around, which is super annoying. It bounces and stuff, but the projectile speed's pretty slow, so I'm gonna have to put it in C. Okay, for the Avenger, this is a very solid weapon in the right hands. Difficult to aim, but it's only a 2-shot kill and you have 4 shots. I'm gonna have to put in A tier. It's quite difficult to aim, so if you miss your shots, you're left pretty vulnerable. Not as vulnerable as the Barrett. But oh, speaking of the Barrett, better Barrett. I know I'm pronouncing that wrong. Please do not yell at me. The carbine is so much better than the Barrett. First of all, the headshot is still a one-shot, so if you're good enough, you can always make it better than the Barrett. And its fire rate is so good. It's just... And it's got 5 shots in a clip. It's disgusting. I don't know why I see everyone using the Barrett and no one using the carbine. It's such an underrated weapon. Now we're on to the secondaries. Chainsaw. It's just not good. Well, under some playstyles, I would barely give it a C. And it's good defensively if someone's running right at you like counter flamer, but no, I cannot put it any higher than D. Ball tier. RPG. Quite a solid weapon. It's really good for comboing, but it's also pretty difficult to hit. Kind of similar to the Avenger, actually. I think that's reasonable. Deagles. This is the best secondary in the game next to Ball. Probably lower than Ball. Ball is Ball. But the Deagles, just their burst damage, their insane clip, they can just spam you out instantly. Love these weapons. SMG plus Deagles is my favorite combo in the game. So much fun. The MAC-10. It's kind of like SMG as a secondary, but it's not got as much range, so it's... I'll put it in B tier. It's not higher than the SMG, but it does kill faster. I'll put it in the same tier. The bow. It's kind of a controversial pick, but I think the bow is correct. It's just absolutely... It's really good, but just not as a secondary. So this, if the bow was a primary, it would be up here with, well, is the bow better than the shotgun? That's the question. It's got better range, so I'll have to put the bow in, let's just say since it's not a primary, so I should rank it as a secondary, it would probably be B tier. Alright, that's about it. If you have any opinions, I will dispute them in the comments. Okay. It's not letting me change the ball to a reasonable tier. There we go. Okay, this is the final tier list. You don't need to rage at me. Alright, that's about it. See you.